Welcome to the presentation about learning at Trivandrum International School. Good morning. Good morning to those in the audience and those who are watching the live stream. My name is Richard Hillibrand. I am the Director of Academics and Principal of Trivandrum International School. What I am to do in this presentation is to take you through our approach to learning and the curricula that we offer at this school. So let's start with what underpins the philosophy of our approach to education here. And I think with the school mission, what I'd like to emphasize are the last 5 words: passion for learning and caring, that we are committed to a holistic education. We are educating young people to be ready for the world around them. And the school motto, learning is for life, sums that up. So that they are learning for life now and also in the future. And that is what takes our young learners on this journey through the school. We are a pre-KG through to grade 12. So from the Early Learning Centre, going through the early years, the junior school, middle school, high school, senior school, and then our students go on to universities in India and elsewhere. So when we talk of the future, it's a future that is at times but vaguely seen. But what we do know is that the 21st century, the future in which our young learners will grow up, in which they will take on positions of leadership, is a world of challenges, many of which are still being defined. And so if we look down on the left-hand side of this slide, the descriptors of key jobs, only at the end of this decade, we would be perhaps challenged to actually describe in detail what they are. And so that essence of adaptability, of being able to identify problems, to be problem solvers, to be collaborative workers, are all skills that are integral to the education that we offer at Trivandrum International School. Adaptability, of course, has been key over the last 18 months, moving swiftly to meet the challenge of having to take our learning from the physical classroom online. And I've been extremely proud of both the way that teachers and students have responded to that challenge. And I thought I'd just give you a short example, in that when we think about teaching online, we are very conscious of the restrictions. But I think what we've also found that there are opportunities to innovate. And here is an example from a music lesson, for example.
So now I'll improve the tempo a little bit better. So it's like 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Got it? I will improve much more so you can see 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a little bit more 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a more 1 and a 3 and a 1 and 3 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 3 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Let's press it. Okay. Okay, who going to try first? I don't have to play. See, my instructions is very clear, right? You don't have to play faster at the initial moments. Just take it to maximum slow and play the pattern very perfect way. Okay, gradually you can improve the tempo. So don't try much faster in the initial time. If you're well, then you can try.
So can I try? Can I try first? Sir, can I do it? I don't want to do it.
Hey, I will let you play one by one. Okay.
So can I try?
Yeah, Niranjan, let's see how Niranjan going
Can you
to play.
see, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, should I do it with like the one and eight thing?
You have to count and play. Okay, otherwise you're going to mess up. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you tilt down your camera a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, now play.
Okay.
Slowly.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a...
As I said, I'm being extremely
So now I'll improve the tempo a little bit better. So it's like 1.
extremely impressed at how we've met these challenges, but we are all looking forward to when the students come back into school. Perhaps not as closely arranged initially as this, like this, but we are moving in that direction. And when we come back into school, we will continue to offer that education that we have been working so hard to deliver online. If we start at the beginning of the journey, then we're looking at the early years and the junior school. And in those sections of our school, we deliver through the PYP, the Primary Years Programme, which is part of the International Baccalaureate suite of programs. And what this diagram emphasizes is that there is content in the curriculum, but the approach is what's key. Central to this vision of learning are approaches to teaching and approaches to learning, and that young learners should be engaged, they should be inquirers, they should be applying their knowledge to particular situations. So again, I think it's best to hear from them. These are students who are in grade 5, talking about the personal project that they've done.
Chose this topic because I wanted to raise awareness on waste management, because around my house there was a lot of waste burning and it was all dumped around. And when I also went to Japan, it was clean. So I wanted to help make the people realize that we need to manage waste more properly. I learned that waste management means managing waste without harming the environment.
Hi everyone, Akshita Central here. The PYP exhibition, we've been waiting it for a long time. It's a journey that was unforgettable. The hardest part of it was choosing my topic. I got a topic which was human mind. And I was amazed to know that it had healing powers. Like learning by ourselves independently, knowing who we are and what we're good at, where we need to work on, and I understood a very important fact in this journey, that learning never stops.
So I think what you caught there was the enthusiasm.
I chose this topic because
that runs through what the PYP is all about, and this is about the approach to learning that encourages an attitude, that encourages this application, so that knowledge is something that is not just provided, but actually something that is actively built by our young learners. So PYP takes us from the KG classes through to grade 5. But what we have, and I think this is illustrated in this photograph, is the idea that although we have different sections within the school, we are actually very much a community of shared learning, and there are lots of opportunities for learning to be modelled by various sections of the school in front of their fellow students. And so our young students see their older students in assemblies and other events, and similarly the older students can share in the adventure of learning that our younger children are embarked upon. So that's the beginning of their journey at TRINS. Then we get to the middle school. And the middle school, again, we want to build on the attitudes and approaches that are being nurtured in the primary years, and developing those so that there's this transition as they move towards the high school, where they'll be moving towards taking board exams. But still, the emphasis is on making sure that our young learners are very much engaged through what they do in the classroom and what they do outside the classroom as well. And these are themes that you will find in the other webinars that you are able to visit today. We are a school that has the International Baccalaureate curriculum. We also have the Cambridge International curriculum. And again, these, much like the NEP 2020 that is being developed within India as well, all of them are emphasizing that it's not just about, and it's not primarily about content. It's about an approach to learning, and the qualities that include independence and indeed create independence are being fostered in the learning environment. So again, let's have a look at a lesson. This is a middle school lesson, and I think what I would hope that we can see is that idea of inquiry, that idea of taking students through a process of actively thinking about material that's in front of them. And as Ashita said, that there's a protest taking place. So what are the clues that this is not just a people going to a football match? What are the clues that it's something rather more than that, Aaron?
So first thing, you can see a lot of people who are dying, and then if you look to the sides, then you can actually see a few people with guns shooting.
Excellent. Yeah. So we've got we've got people who are at least injured, and we've got people with guns. So there's a sense of violence. And where are we? Where has the artist put us as people in this picture? Where is our position in this picture, Christy?
Well, I think the artist wants to just convey this message to the world. They want us to be informed. The artist wants us to be informed. Yeah, like an audience.
Yeah, absolutely, like an audience. On whose side are we?
We are neither, because since the artist is trying to tell us about, just trying to convey this message to us, we're not really sure what side we're on. Some of us could, oppose the revolution. Some of us could be with the revolution. So.
Okay. That's one answer. Taj? Right. Yes.
I think we are on the side of the people leading the revolution, because we are facing in that direction. And
yeah.
Moving forward, so.
Yeah. So Christy kind of gave us an answer, which is how might we feel? But the artist is actually taken us into the picture, and he's put us on a certain position. He said, you're on this side. You're not looking down like a bird. You're not looking from the side. You're looking from behind you've got the view of the people who are doing the revolution, who are doing the protest. And so the artist has actually put us in the picture and said, this is what it's like to be coming up to these protesters from behind, and on the other side of the people who they're fighting. So in the middle school, again, it's about making sure that as far as we can, the children have a high degree of agency, that they have ownership of their learning, that they are exploring, and that takes place in the classroom. It takes place out of the classroom. It takes place within school. It takes place out of school as well. And so our middle school students are gaining and building, new knowledge in the various subjects that they're doing, and that the subjects are more clearly defined in middle school. But they are building on the approaches to learning that have been put in place in the junior school through the PYP in that section of the school. And then once they move from middle school, they then go into high school, and in high school they have a choice to make. So when they go to high school, we offer two curriculum. We offer the ICSE, so an Indian board, which takes them through to the ICSE exams at the end of grade 10, or we are a Cambridge International School, and so we offer the International GCSE, the IGCSE. So both of them are similar insofar as they are two-year courses. Both of them are similar in that they are distinct. There's a range of subjects that the students follow, and at the end of it, they come up with a series of qualifications that reflect the subject knowledge and understanding that they have gained. There is a difference in that both of them offer a degree of choice, but there is a greater degree of choice with the IGCSE. So with ICSE, the choice is essentially what second language you take and whether you're doing computer applications or economic applications. However, with the IGCSE, we do say there should be a core because we want students to have a strong base, but we also say there should be breadth. We want students to have a breadth, and that breadth can be or is put together by the students so that they might have a combination that is leaning towards the kind of creative arts, so that they might be taking art and design alongside history and language as well. It might be a little bit more towards the commerce with accounting, economics. It might be a more kind of broad-based one because, understandably, many students don't necessarily have a clear sense of what it is they want to do. So we'd like to take biology and then maybe geography and as well as a language. And I think part of our ethos is that breadth is welcomed, that we're not trying to predetermine where students are going to end up, but that they should be in a process of self-awareness that helps them to make those decisions as they go through. And I think, again, that is something that if we listen to Ashtavista, he is talking a little bit about how his choices have helped him and also what he might do with his next stage.
Okay, hello. My name is Tavish Poti, and I'm studying in 10th grade. Right. So the subjects that I'm studying are math, physics, biology, chemistry, English literature, English language, music, French, computer science, and AdMath, which is advanced mathematics. Yeah. Also, this was in 8th grade, so a while back. I did this project called the Personal Project, which is a project that helped us kind of expand into really whatever subject we wanted. We were able to choose any subject, any theme, like any classification, to try to help us kind of grow as creators or like help us become interested in something. So I chose music, which is something I'm taking in IGCSE right now. So this project, I made many pieces to kind of mirror emotions, and I made music then. It was a fantastic experience. So I think taking music and IG is really helping me broaden that idea of making music, and I've dabbled in it. I'm not so sure in taking music as a full-time thing in the very distant future, but it's still a good idea to branch out into this, and I think it'll help me in some of my other endeavors, like filmmaking or even kind of the sciences. Maybe it may help me there. Yeah. In 12, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do, but this may help me because I study this broad range of topics, and maybe I can lean towards one or the other. And right now, I'm thinking of leaning towards English because I really like to write, and like reading intrigues me, and crafting these stories intrigue me, and this could also help in my recent expansion or kind of endeavor to try to think about film as well, which is I think an offshoot of thinking about English. So also I'm taking my idea is also to take sciences and math, and I think all these sciences and math will help me if I want to study engineering or something of that sort. I can use the sciences and math as well, and also psychology intrigues me as well. It really helps me think about other people in a different kind of light, and helps me kind of connect with them a little bit more.
I always think it's important to listen to what our students have to say. I think they are our best ambassadors, and they put into their words the the challenges of being a young person, but also the opportunities that are there. And as we go into the senior school, those opportunities can be realized through one of two programs. So as Tavishta was referring to or referencing the International Baccalaureate Diploma Program. And the other program that we offer are the Cambridge A-levels. So again, there are strong similarities in that these are two-year courses, at the end of which you have a qualification that enables you to go on to university, if that is your choice, either in India, and that both are accepted by institutions, all institutions, or at least the vast majority of institutions in India, and globally as well. These are international qualifications. So they're two-year courses. There are some differences, and this is why we have these two programs, so that if we think about the IB, it is examined at the end of the 2 years with board exams that are familiar to us all. But it also has an element of assessment that takes place outside of the exam. So there are internal assessments, and there is a theory of knowledge essay, and also an extended essay, which is essentially if like a mini dissertation that students were, and these are all assessed, and the credit for those is added to what students achieve in the exam to come up with the final point score. And on the other hand, we have the Cambridge A-level program. That is assessed twice during the program, one at the end of the AS level, which is basically the grade 11 program. And secondly, at the end of the A2, the full A-level program, which is usually examined at the end of grade 12. So it's an exam-based program. There is an element of flexibility insofar as there is a March session, and so students can, in grade 12, take the A2 element. And what that means is that they have their results that little bit earlier, by May of the final year. And that means if they are looking at doing entrance exams for Indian institutions, that might be a reason why they do that. Now, the vast majority of our students, be they doing the Cambridge A-level or doing the IB program, take their exams in the May, June of their year 12. They get their results in either July or August, and they then go on to institutions in India or elsewhere. And that is a functional and perfectly workable way of doing things. All our students are able to get their qualifications and move on. Now, some choose to take a gap year. Some take entries to foreign institutions, like in Australia, for instance, in the January after they finished. But these qualifications and the timescales that we offer give them a choice, but always gives them opportunities to take their education further. Now, that is a good opportunity for us to listen to what goes on at A-level. So the final clip that we're going to look at is an A-level lesson. And again, it kind of goes back to the first one, which says we carry on online offering the opportunities that we would offer in a physical classroom. And again, it emphasizes this idea of students exploring throughout their journey through TRINS. They are exploring and creating knowledge and understanding rather than just being recipients of that. So this is an example of an A-level biology lesson.
The cells are gaining water, so endoosmosis is taking place, and therefore endoosmosis is a photonic solution. Yeah.
So the concentration of the NaCl solution is 0.45%. So when you put it onto the stage, you can see that there's not much visible difference between the two cells, meaning that the concentrations are the same. So it's an isotonic solution.
Concentration is 0.90%. The plasmolysis, and it's shrinking of protoplasm in a hypertonic solution. So the answer is hypertonic.
So the concentration is 1.80. Exosmosis happens, I guess.
That's a good point. I have a couple more slides, but this is a good point to pause and ask if there are any questions. In that I've given you an overview of the curriculum that we offer in the EY Early Years Junior School. Talked a bit about the middle school and what we do there, and then looked at the ICSE and IGCSE at high school and the diploma program and A-levels that we offer at the +2. So if there are any questions, I'd be quite happy to take them now. There's always the opportunity with anything that we are presenting here to follow up with emails or a phone call, and the details of the Stania, who is our admissions tutor, will be at the end. So let's go on and just have a couple more slides to think about what next. Now, there is a webinar later in the day that looks at the destinations that our students move to and how we prepare our students for making choices so that they are informed when they are looking at the myriad of opportunities that lie ahead of them. Now, if we think about the students that are alumni, again, I've said about how proud I am of the teachers and the students currently at school, but I also have a great deal of pride in our alumni. So the school was founded in 2003, and that's actually when I first came to India and worked with Trivandrum International School. So those students of the early batches, the students who were leaving the school in 2008, 2009, are students whose journey I'm really interested in now as they enter into their early 30s and their careers are progressing and they are family people. It's really inspiring to see where they're going. And similarly, with all our alumni, whatever their stage is, as they move on to university or as they leave university, it's really interesting. And what is very warming is the affection that they have for the school and the teachers and the learning that they were able to achieve with Trivandrum International School. And so I'll leave you with the final slide, And the final slide is one that we again will come back to, which is the destinations immediately after Trivandrum International School. Where do our students go when they're going for higher education? And what you'll see is that India is very much a place where students go to do a range of subjects, from medicine and engineering to liberal arts, to English, to design. So half or over half of our students in a typical year will go to institutions in India, enabled to do so by either having done the International Baccalaureate Diploma Programme or A-levels. And others choose to go further afield. They go to universities in Europe, including the UK, North America, in Australia, maybe in the Gulf. So we are able to prepare our students for all these opportunities that are out there. And if we were then to show a map of where our alumni are now, it would be broadly similar, but subtly different to that. Again, most of our students are working in India, but they are also around the world pursuing their interests in their career. And pursuing them with, I believe, that ethos that we started with, a passion for learning and for caring. And as such, as I've said, they are our best ambassadors. So thank you very much for listening to this presentation about learning in Trivandrum International School. Any questions, please do come back and get in touch with us. We would be very happy to have a discussion with you about how learning takes place here and all the other opportunities that we provide. Thank you for your time.